Hi, welcome back. Sorry there was no video last week. I had kind of an unexpected surgery. They didn't give me much time to prepare for it, and I thought I was going to be able to get this video done last week, but apparently I had some anxiety surrounding that surgery. Every time I sat down to film, I couldn't focus on the products, and this is probably one of the biggest videos or longest videos that I put out at the end of the year. So I just decided to hold off. We're back a week later, refreshed. And here we are to discuss some of my most used and favorite beauty products of the year. So I'm going to go ahead and kick this off. We are not going to waste any time because I know some of you all like longer videos. However, I like to keep it around the 15 to 20 minute range, just like a quick pop on. Here are my favorites. I am going to do something a little bit different this year. So I'm going to have like a classics category. So, when you think of my channel, and if you're someone who watches my videos frequently, you can think of the products that I talk about. Obviously, Laura Mercier Caviar Sticks, Bobbi Brown Shadow Sticks, Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer, Armani Luminous Silk, those classics that everyone knows that I know and love. Maybe you don't. That's why I'm still going to do a brief little hey, here's the classic category, and I'm going to link it down below because obviously my classics I'm using all year as well, but I feel like a roundup of things that I've discovered and new launches is more how I want to gear these videos, or more how these videos end up going on my channel at least. So let's go ahead and kick this bad boy off. I'm going to start out with a couple of lip balms that I've been loving. So a classic for me has been Avene Cold Cream. I talk about this frequently. I know a lot of you all picked this up during the Avene 35% off sale, whatever it was for Black Friday. And I hope you are enjoying it because it is truly one of the most luxurious and best performing lip balms I've ever tried. So Avene Cold Cream, if you know, you know. Love that one. This is a new discovery for me this year. It's the Alpyn Beauty Wildcraft Willow and Sweet Agave Plumping Lip Mask. So I'm not a big lip mask person, honestly. I love the Laneige ones, but something just kind of drew me to this, and I don't know if it's because it claims it's plumping. It does not have any type of sting. There's no minty feel. Honestly, it just feels really nice on the lips. I've been very surprised by this. I think it's vegan, cruelty-free lip balm, and it just seems like it's made really well. I love wearing this before I do my makeup. So this was one that I discovered a few months back, and it has been a true pleasure to use. I'm going to chat very briefly about some skincare items that I have really enjoyed. Now, I will also be referencing you back to my Black Friday sale video because I went really in depth in all of the skincare I had been using, favorites list, what worked for my sensitive skin this year. So I don't really want to elaborate on that since I kind of already did. I will say Avene and La Roche-Posay are kind of like two biggies for me this year. And I talk a lot about those in that video. So I'm going to link it down below so you can get, if you want more info, you can just go there. This brand is coming in at the tail end of the year for me because I only ordered this probably about 2 months ago now, and I have been loving every single product that I tried. It is geared towards eczema, dermatitis, sensitive prone skin, and it's the brand called Skin Fix. So if you have been hearing my saga this year about all of the flare-ups I've had, and now I think we can pretty much confirm it was due to the bacteria recall in my laundry detergent, which is the Laundress, by the way. So if you own any of the Laundress products, I would definitely check their recall website because it is likely that they are infected with multiple types of bacteria. I was absolutely horrified. As soon as I stopped using their products on my clothes, my skin's cleared up. It's cleared up like 90%. However, this brand was such a lifesaver towards the end when I just felt like there was no relief for my skin. Skin Fix came in. So first I ordered their Barrier Plus cream, and I'm so glad they have a little duo set on Sephora where you can actually get a refill. At least it was on there. It may be like a holiday limited edition, but I actually got 2 for like the price of 1. And this has been the most calming, nourishing moisturizer, no fragrance, nothing to irritate my skin. Absolute just angel in disguise. It's a very simple moisturizer, but it's rich and it's effective. So after I tried this and I knew that their face products didn't really irritate my skin, I went ahead and I also ordered their triple lipid hyaluronic. It's not hyaluronic. I'm just going to call it triple lipid hyaluronic serum, but it's a barrier restoring serum. This adds some extra hydration to my skin. I use it most nights, I would say like 3 to 4 times a week. I actually use this first, and then I go in with the triple lipid moisturizer, and it's been a dream combo. Ultra hydrated, healthy looking skin when I wake up, no issues. I've also been using their foaming shower oil and also the Eczema Strength and Body Cream. Just a dream. Like, I have nothing. Like, there's no red patches, nothing. I mean, a part of that is coming from, again, me not using stuff that's causing the irritation on my skin. But this has been so soothing, and I'm literally like down to here with it. But I bought the they have a triple lipid like tub of the body moisturizer. Girl, I got that on backup. So yeah, needless to say, this has been an excellent brand for me as someone with sensitive eczema prone skin. A couple products from In Beauty Project that I have repeatedly been using year round. The Green Machine, this is a transforming oil jelly serum, has a really unique texture. Loved using this in the summertime, but this is basically like a vitamin infused serum, and I really just felt like it made my skin feel refreshed. It was adding like an extra oomph to my skincare routine, and also something that just did not ever irritate my skin. So it says it's infused with 15 super greens, vitamin C, and plant stem cells. So it's supposed to give the look of clear, healthy, vibrant skin, filters away dehydrated, congested, tired skin. And I would say that's pretty accurate. It just felt really refreshing on my skin. Their Slushy Serum Moisturizer, this was like my go-to all summer long. Super lightweight, really refreshing. That's kind of like the name of the game with their products. I feel like everything I've tried has just been either like a drink of water for my skin or just like an added health benefit on top of whatever I'm using. But this is a super lightweight. It comes out almost like a gel, and when you rub it in, it feels like a serum. It actually feels like water when you rub it in on your skin. So if you like lightweight, just really effective, soothing moisturizers, this is one that I've been using. Actually, I think this is my second one. Yeah, these were both winners for me. I've been using Merit Great Skin as almost a priming product on days when I have very noticeable dry patches, because I just feel like it adds this extra layer of glow to my skin where it really distracts from the dryness or any areas that may have like flakes. I cannot describe honestly what the formula is on this. I saw a chemist or a dermatologist explain this. It's like a bi-layer formula. It's very interesting, but it's super lightweight. I will say you have to be careful when you pump it out, because it just like, it will go everywhere. It's very water-like. But I think that will appeal to a lot of people because it's just not thick. It really feels like nothing on the skin when you put it on. You feel like this very almost like hydrating layer that gives off this glow, and then honestly it absorbs really fast. So I've been really enjoying this as a skincare priming hybrid. Okay, a few primers to talk about. I know, who am I? I literally never wear primer, but somehow this year I really got into priming. Some of these are like highlighter priming combos as well, but the first is my Exa Splash Zone Hydrating Primer. Really like this. It has a little bit of a green tint to it, and so I felt like it didn't really combat my redness, but something about it just, I don't know, it didn't irritate my skin, and honestly just felt like a nice little drink before applying my foundation. So Exa is a brand I've really been enjoying this year. It's owned by Credo Beauty. So if you've not checked out their stuff, I have another Eczema product I'm going to talk about a little bit later on down the road. But moving on, we have also kind of like, this is a given. This is a primer I've been using for multiple years now. Drugstore L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. I use the shade Light. I actually use this as my foundation sometimes in the summertime if I want a really just ultra glowy look. I paired this as my base with a concealer and then I'm good to go. So this is one that I just think is unmatched. It's very pretty. And yeah, it can almost come off as like a skin tint. Some people think it's a dupe for Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I would not agree with that. I don't think it's that intense, especially if you choose to just use it as a cheek highlight. I think it looks best like underneath makeup, if that makes sense. Another glowy base I've been enjoying is the Say Beauty Glowy Super Gel. This is kind of iconic. I feel like it's their hero product and it's very multi-use. So we love a good multi-use product. You can use it as a primer, but it also looks really good on top of the skin. If you're someone with mature skin or someone that just doesn't like the intense, you know, high glow on the cheeks, this is something that you could look into. The irony is that it looks really glowy as a base, but I find when I use it on top, like if I go in with a beauty blender and just put some on my cheeks, it's not that intense at all. So yeah, multiple uses with this. Very lightweight, like I'm talking very lightweight. It doesn't feel thick. It doesn't interfere with whatever you put on top of it. It's just a really nice lightweight multi-purpose product. Moving into our next category, I split up my skin tints and my foundations. So I have a category for skin tints, which I think I'm going to start with. I would definitely say one of the most impressive skin tints for me this year and was really surprising is the Summer Friday skin tint. This is the sheer skin tint. I wear the shade number 2 and I don't know what it was about it, but it just felt really soothing when I wore it. Also, it's just, I think I described this in a video where I talked about it recently. It is the true definition of a skin tint. I think skin tints have kind of gotten out of control. Like some have zero coverage, some are like a CC BB combo. Is a BB cream, are people even still using the term BB cream? I don't know. Anyways, true skin tint here, like gives you light coverage. It feels really moisturizing and that's probably why I really gravitated towards it. It just felt like it was doing something for my skin and I just felt like it looked really pleasant, really ethereal and natural every time that I wore it. So yeah, sheer skin tint from Summer Fridays, I would say is definitely up there in my top favorites this year. This was a really great drugstore launch this year from L'Oreal, a part of the Age Perfect line, which I love. You're going to see another Age Perfect item later on in the video, but it's the Age Perfect 4-in-1 Tinted Balm. I have a brand new one here because honestly, I really was looking forward to using this winter and my other one is too dark. I tried to use it up before summer ran out. It was in my project pan and I couldn't do it. I still have like a third of it left, but I ended up caving in and I just got a lighter one. So that's why this one has not been touched. Literally picked it up this morning. But this was such a treat, like the epitome of what you want to wear in the summertime. Just gives a fresh tint to the skin. Very little coverage. Like when I say very little, I'm being serious. It's not something that you can layer. It's just something that will very softly even out your complexion. Now, a lot of people were comparing it to, let me grab, because this is another item in my skin tint this year. A lot of people were comparing it to Jones Road. Jones Road with the foundation. A lot of people said like this was a dupe. I don't necessarily think that. I think coverage wise, yes, they both provide very sheer coverage and I like them for different reasons. So the L'Oreal one, in my opinion, is a little bit easier to work with. It does blend with the fingertips a little bit more easy than the Jones Road one does. Coverage level on these, I would say, is identical. You're gonna get sheer light coverage. There's no scent with this. The L'Oreal one, the Jones Road one does have a bit of a smell to it. I love Jones Road. I am not crazy about the smell of their products. So that's something that is totally different compared to the Balm. I don't know why I've turned this into like a Jones Road WTF L'Oreal 4-in-1 like smackdown, but here we are. I might as well go ahead and talk about this because it was in my favorites. So I love this. I felt like my skin looked so healthy when I used this, and it's very interesting because it does have this thick texture to it, and when you blend it out, it just seems kind of odd. It does seem a little bit weird. Every time I got outside and like I was driving and I glanced like in the mirror, love the way my skin looked with this. It just looked, I don't know, I looked like I had fresh baby skin. Like the most youthful touch and youthful like glow to my skin. With the L'Oreal one, I don't feel like I got as much of a glow with this. It was a little bit more of a flatter finish on me, which is weird because it is very creamy, but you'll notice once you get it kind of blended in, there really isn't much of a glow. So again, another difference between these two products here. Overall, I think the L'Oreal one is probably a little bit more accessible. Shade range in this sucks. I'm just gonna say, like, it's not very good, and they run really, am I orange? Like, this is the lightest color, and not only to me does it look kind of dark, but it's a little on the orangey side. That's how my other one was. And yeah, the shade selection, at least in the store, I don't know if there's more shades online, not that great. Jones Road one, a little bit better. Like, it does definitely go deeper in the Jones Road than it does in the L'Oreal. But I know a lot of you all had problems finding your shade in this and getting your shade light enough too. So I don't know why I just decided to point out the cons and everything, but YOLO. Of course, the icon, the legend, the queen, Chanel Le Beige Fresh Water Tint. This is the original version. Now, I will say I did include the new updated Water Fresh, whatever it's called. I'm going to talk about it later. But you know, I had to include my girl in the tint. I mean, it's literally in the name, Water Fresh Tint. This is youthfulness in a bottle. Like, I feel like I look so much younger when I use this, and I can't explain it. And it may just be like a summertime thing because I do tend to pick this up in the summertime, where, you know, I have a little bit of a tan going on, and this just adds like this youthful glaze to my skin. Little coverage going on here. You know, this is like a sheer light coverage product, but something about the finish, it is just immaculate. It's beautiful, it's healthy, it's like model skin in a bottle. So, you know, my love for this. I almost put this in the classics, but I was like, you know what? I think I've only been using this for like a year and a half. So if you know, you know, this is a top product for me. This product is from Range Beauty. I used it in a few videos this summer. It's called the True Intentions Hydrating Foundation. Range Beauty is really geared towards acne and eczema prone skin. I follow their founder, I think her name's Alicia S, before I even like knew that she had this makeup line. So I ordered up a few products this summer, and this was one that I really enjoyed. It's listed, I think, as a foundation. I would consider it more of a tint. I find that I get light, maybe light medium coverage with it, but when it says hydrating, it's not joking. It's very emollient, almost feels like a moisturizer when you're putting it on. I have the shade Coconut Milk. Now, Coconut Milk is definitely too dark for me right now, but this was a really surprising foundation. It almost feels like a moisturizer foundation combo, and I know a lot of you would be interested in that because a lot of you have dry, sensitive skin like I do. It just gave a really nice, I would say, daily wear coverage, what a lot of people just want in their daily wear. So if you haven't checked out Range Beauty, really lovely product. I think they're going to be sold in Sephora soon. So maybe a little bit more on the radar, a little bit more accessible. Okay, moving into foundations, we are going to do a quick classic shout out. Look, these are my classics that I've got here. Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer. I put this on the other day. I hadn't worn it in probably a couple months, I'm not gonna lie. And I was like floored, amazed. Like, why do I even stop using this? This is such a phenomenal foundation. I can't believe it's still under the radar like it is, but it is the longest lasting light coverage foundation you'll find on the market, because unfortunately light coverage and sheer products don't always have that longevity because they don't contain as much pigment. Somehow Estee Lauder has put that double wear, long wearing formula in a more sheer, lightweight pigment, and it lasts. My skin just, it always looks the same at the end of the day. Two very iconic products here, Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin and Armani Luminous Silk. These are very similar in my opinion. The Lisa Eldridge one is a little bit more, has a little bit more of a natural finish. I don't ever have to set this, and it's not a flat finish. It's not flat, it's not matte. It's just like natural. Like it looks like skin when it goes on. So why try to compete? Why try to, you know, add something on top of it that alters it? It looks so seamless, just like the name says. Honestly, I don't know how she did it, because this foundation formula, again, I would consider this underrated. I can't believe more people don't just like gloat over this. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is just beautiful. Anytime I just am concerned and I need my makeup to look good, this is one that I will totally reach for. Let's say pictures, let's say just like special event, I know it's gonna look good. Same thing goes for Luminous Silk. Now Luminous Silk, for me, thinner texture on the skin. So if you do have maybe a little bit of texture, dryness going on, I personally think Luminous Silk might sit a little bit better, because you do get more of a glow with Luminous Silk. Luminous Silk is gonna give you radiance, not anything super overwhelming. I oftentimes don't even have to set this, but it is one that still looks really beautiful if you set it, or if you just leave it as is. Thin, amazing, glorious texture. I mean, you know, if you know, you know. Merit Perfecting Complexion Stick. This is one that I travel with. It's like a go-to when I travel. So good for just quick, beautiful, fresh, daily wear. It does give light coverage. Probably not going to exceed that. However, it's really unique in its formula in that you can actually reapply it throughout the day, and I don't find that it ever looks crepey. And I think that's how it was more so designed, because it is marketed as a foundation and a concealer. So multi-purpose, you can definitely reapply, blend in with your fingers, and it doesn't look icky, doesn't look like, you know, you've layered a ton of foundation on. Quite a few newbies are making it into this category this year. So I'll start out with another L'Oreal Age Perfect, and this is not my final L'Oreal Age Perfect product. I still have another one coming at you. The Radiant Serum Foundation. Love this throughout the summertime. This is light medium coverage. It feels and looks like a high-end foundation. Something about it, like even just the way the packaging is. I love this little like tube formula or tube packaging that has just the tube. I don't know what it is. It's not luxe, but something about it, I just like a good squeeze tube. This has, like I said, medium coverage, and it is going to give you a, I would say, natural leaning in towards semi-matte, which I wasn't expecting when I first used it. As I've used it throughout, you know, the several months that I've owned it, I find that I really don't ever have to set it, because I find that it sets itself almost. But really good for, I would say, all skin types as well. Universal formula here. And yeah, just think high-end at an affordable price point. Kosas Revealer Foundation. This was one that took me a while to get used to, but let me tell you, it got me through my red eczema flare-ups throughout this year, because I felt like it just did not irritate my skin, number one, when I put it on, but it offered coverage. This is a pretty significant coverage foundation. I would definitely say medium. You could probably get into medium full with it. So I needed that extra coverage, but I didn't need, you know, a flat finish. I needed something that was still moisturizing, and this definitely gave me that. So this was one that I really appreciated. If you need coverage, but you also struggle with sensitive skin, maybe you have texture on your skin, this is one that I would definitely at least encouraged to try out because I saw really good success with it when I was having those problematic months, if you will. I feel like it's been the entire year. Another one, this came into play. This was a 2021 foundation for sure. Maybe, yeah, 2022 or 2021. I don't know. I've had it. I've liked it, but I've really been able to use it to its full potential this year with needing the extra coverage. And it's the NARS. I've been using NARS for so long. When I say NARS, every single product that I have used for some reason will just start popping in my head. NARS Light Reflecting. I almost said NARS All Day Luminous Weightless. Remember that one? Anyways, it's the Light Reflecting Foundation. So this has a thinner texture than the Kosas. The Kosas one I just mentioned, definitely a thicker texture. So if you find that you lean towards foundations that just have a little bit more of that watery consistency, this is going to be the one for you. However, it does give, again, really good coverage. You can go medium to full with this, and it just looks immaculate. It looks immaculate. I would definitely describe it as a classic foundation because it gives coverage, what a lot of people need, what a lot of people want, but it doesn't look cakey. It doesn't look heavy. So this is probably, out of all of the ones I've mentioned, this is probably the one that has the most coverage. Here we go. Chanel Water Fresh Complexion Touch. I always forget the name of this one. Yeah, I honestly didn't, honestly didn't think I was going to like this as much as I did. It's truly the same as Water Fresh Tint, just with elevated coverage. Like, it looks just as good. It looks lovely. It looks healthy, but you are going to get more coverage with it. So if you just couldn't get down with Water Fresh Tint, you know, paying that price for a very sheer skin tint, you know, maybe give this one a go because it was just, to me, identical in the way that it felt and looked, except just gave a bit more coverage. So yeah, I had to include this one because I was impressed. They stuck to the theme. They understood the assignment, but they were catering towards a lot of you I know. Like, you were just like, I'm not spending, you know, $50 on something that's just gonna give me a little bit of tint. And I totally get that. So that's your answer. I feel like I'm being mean to that one because I mean, if I had to pick between the two, I would pick the tint, but that's me. Westman Atelier Vital Stick Foundation. I think this is a new one for this year. It may have come in at the end of 2021. I'm not really sure, but this is what I'm wearing today. My brain is all over the place with this lineup. I've still got a full bathroom full of stuff to, you know, tell you about, to inform you of, even though a lot of you will probably already guess them. But this is what I'm wearing today. I love this. It is a medium to medium full coverage stick foundation. Surprisingly, I find that it blends out best with a brush. I don't know. Why did I say surprisingly? It blends out best with a brush, honestly. I can't use a beauty blender with it. There is something with that formula. It's got too much grip. I feel like it's meant to be used with your fingers or a brush, but it is pretty much what the name says. It's called a Vital Skin Foundation Stick. It just looks good and healthy, but with the coverage, and I love that you can do target application with it. It is pretty travel friendly. I mean, this is like a pretty large tube in comparison to Merit. Merit's more travel friendly, but you will get more coverage with the Westman Atelier, and it is seamless. It's beautiful, customizable. You can go from super sheer to full coverage if you wanted to with this foundation stick, and I just think it looks healthy, natural, would really do well with most skin types in my opinion as well. Okay, I do have a classics category and a newbie category for my concealers. I am just going to go ahead and list my classics down below. I'm not going to lie, I've got to go pick up my son soon, and we have got a lot of ground to cover. So let's see, it looks like we have 5 concealers. One of these is a corrector in the newbies category for this year. So Exa, another Exa product. This is high fidelity color corrector. I have talked about this for a few months now. This was just key in color correcting my redness. It allowed me to not use as much foundation when I was struggling with eczema and red flare-ups, and just like flat out, like some days my entire face would be red. So I would go in with this, and then I wouldn't have to use as much foundation. in turn, you know, the texture wasn't showing up as much on my skin. It just looked a lot more natural. And they do have other shades you can pick from depending on what you need to correct. But this is a good one. A lot of you have bought it, and I know you've been enjoying it as well. This was probably the biggest surprise of 2022, the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. Love this. Like, one of my top products this year. I just fell in love with the formula. Really reminds me of YSL Touche Éclat, except I think the formula is better. I think you get more coverage with this one, and it's like $5 compared to what, like 40? The YSL concealer is like $40. So this was a total win for me. You get a beautiful, light, seamless finish. It brightens. It just looks fresh. When I said I used that L'Oreal Lumi Glotion as like my foundation and I would pair it with a concealer, this is one of the concealers I was talking about this summer because it is just that good. Now, when I needed a little bit more coverage and I wanted something that still looked healthy, here we go, Age Perfect Radiant Concealer. Just call me an Age Perfect stan because I really enjoy everything in that line. But this is the Radiant Concealer, Age Perfect Radiant Concealer. Dare I say the best drugstore concealer I've probably ever tried. And that's even going up against NYX Bare With Me. And I know a lot of you love NYX Bare With Me. I love NYX Bare With Me, but something about the Age Perfect Radiant Concealer is phenomenal. Do not get it confused with NARS Radiant Concealer. Like, it's not a dupe for that at all. The NARS one, totally different texture, way thicker, dries down more flat. This is youthful, good coverage. It's got like a medium coverage to it. It looks good as foundation. Like, if you want to just throw it all on, looks great. There's this flexible texture to it that I love, and I think that's why it works so well, especially with my skin, because I do deal with texture a lot, and it just works with it, not against it. So this is one I would really encourage you to look into if you have it. Next time you're at the drugstore, just get it. This concealer is going to be for, I think, everyone, but unless you're extremely dry. Like, if you have dry under eyes or like dry patches anywhere, not the one to go to. However, I really did enjoy using this as foundation in the summertime because it had great longevity and it really looked like skin. It is a matte finish. Like, don't get it twisted. This is going to dry down and it is going to have more of a flat finish. But somehow it looked really good. Always looked really good on my skin. I don't know if it's because I moisturize really well and I use hydrating primers, but it's Bobbi Brown Skin Full Cover Concealer. And the concept with this, it's got a really weird doe foot applicator, and it's supposed to be like the amount that's in the little spoolie can like cover your entire face. So they actually market this as an all-over concealer, like not just for spot concealing. And I really did like it in the summertime because I could throw it on like super quick. It wouldn't have to set it because I do have dry skin, so really wasn't any need for me to set this. And somehow it would alter throughout the day, and I feel like it would work with the chemistry of my skin, and it would look a little bit more natural as the day would go on. But longevity is key on this. Like, it's a very long wearing concealer. So I wanted to include this because let's say like the e.l.f. one, love that one, looks beautiful. If you need it to last like all day and you have, you know, dark circles or something you're trying to correct, I can't guarantee that one's gonna hold up because it just doesn't have the pigment or the texture. This one does. A lot of people like the Milk Makeup one. I tried that one and I honestly preferred the Bobbi Brown one. So yeah, Bobbi Brown Full Skin Cover. This was a really surprising choice for me. But I just also want to cater to those of you who may not have the same skin type as me. Let's get into my frequently used bronzers this year. Of course, no surprise, most of them are cream, but I do have one powder to talk about. I guess we'll go ahead and talk about it first. I'm wearing it today. I'm wearing it with another cream that I'm going to talk about, but this is the Beauty Pie smoothing bronzers. And you know, normally I'm not into like powder bronzers, but they really did something with this formula. It is smoothing, like the name says. I can put this on without having any powder on my face, and it like almost just smooths out and sets my face for me. Love the formula. It's not too pigmented. With powder bronzers, sometimes I just feel like the pigment, I feel like as beauty influencers or, you know, beauty bloggers, whatever you want to call us, we got a little crazy with criticizing brands for not having enough pigment. And so a lot of brands just go full pigment, and it can be dangerous if you, you know, don't keep a light hand. This is like just the perfect amount. Actually quite sheer for a bronzer, which I like, but it is so smoothing, like the name says. And I think that's a really unique formula to find in a bronzer. Powder bronzers are a dime a dozen. And so I feel like a formula really has to stand out, or at least do something special for me to notice. And I really did enjoy this one this year. This is one of my most used products this year. I have not put it down, and honestly, there's not even a dent in it yet. It's been in my project pan for months now, and it's Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. I have the shade Light Medium. I mean, you can see I'm putting a good dent in it. Love this. It very user-friendly. It goes with most foundations and skin tints that I use. And I really like this light medium shade. I think it tends to pull a little rosy on me. So it almost has like this blush bronzer combo. If you're someone that struggles with cream bronzers and you find that they could be too harsh, this is something to look into because it's not as pigmented as a typical cream bronzer. It's meant to be like a veil for your skin, if that makes sense. So yeah, gotta hand it to Makeup by Mario. I have been using this since I got it. This is the cream bronzer that I'm wearing underneath the Beauty Pie powder bronzer, and it's the Pearl Beauty Core 4 bronzer. So Pearl Beauty is Alana McGowan's makeup line. If you don't follow her, she's been on YouTube for several years. Also very popular on Instagram. She's just a beautiful person. I've been internet friends with her for quite some time now, and I have been really impressed with her launches. But these bronzers just really popped off. I was a big fan of these. I wore this shade Fair a lot in the summertime, and it just is very user-friendly. It has, again, the right amount of pigment, not too overwhelming, and I think it's just kind of like a good classic bronzer. I love the Fair shade. It's not too golden, it's not too pink, it just has a nice neutral ambiance to it. And yeah, I've just been really impressed with what she's done with this brand. Love the packaging, and it's a very user-friendly brand. That's how it's marketed and targeted. The Core 4 is just supposed to be like 4 really simple, easy, multi-purpose products that she released. She first came out with Core 4 blushes, and now she's done it with several other products, but I especially loved her bronzer launch this year. Persona Bronze Multi-Stick. Do you all not remember at the beginning of the year? This is the only bronzer I would use in videos. I love the shade Sahara. There are 3 shades, I think, 2 or 3 shades. This one is one of the darker ones. I love it. I think even Sona commented, she's like, wow, I'm shocked at like how good Sahara looks on you, because I am really fair and this is meant to be for deeper complexions. But something about it I just love. It's rich, it's healthy looking, it shows off a lot more than what the lighter shade would on me. So this is one that I love, very pigmented, really easy to use, and it just always looked good. Like I never had to worry about this looking muddy. Has really good longevity to it as well, and it's travel and user friendly. So Persona, you guys know I'm a big fan of Persona products, and this was definitely a hit product for me this year. Okay, hi, I am breaking this video into 2 parts, which I've never done before, but after editing, I realized this was gonna be well over an hour long, and you all decided you would like to see a 2-part series. So I'm gonna end this here with complexion. We covered skincare and complexion, and then my part 2 will be up Thursday, and it will be covering cheeks, eyes, lips, and brows. This is not my norm, but you know, we gotta break down. We gotta break down everything that was good and poppin' this year. So I'll see you in part 2.